Plato says love is a serious mental disease.
What happened to him?
So impatient. Just watch.
No, we're done wasting time. I want to save my friend.
Let's blow this joint, Miss Tulip.
I miss Portal fantasies. There just aren't as many shows that take portals to their logical extreme as there used to be.
Hey, this isn't my shower, yo! Where am I?
So as a massive cope, I've launched a case study into the phenomenon known as Portal fantasy cartoons, and for the sake of brevity, I've fantasy drafted 3 of the most impactful shows of the genre. Of course, the mixed media shows like Code Lyoko and Chalk Zone are on the Mount Rushmore for me. Also, you know I gotta tie in Infinity Train, which, by the way, has the highest chance of actually being brought back. I've been on a portal bender, okay? I'm not entirely sane at the moment. I'll admit I almost included a Dragon Tales section to complete the Mount Rushmore, but I can assure you the horse would have already been dead and beaten to a pulp by the time I could get around to a Dragon Tales addendum, so here they are now.
I wish with all my heart to fly.
There, now you got your wish. Bring back Portal fantasies. Let's go. When observing this specific phenotype of storytelling, there's always this gadget or elemental kind of instrument that facilitates their travel to an alternate reality. The true mark of a portal fantasy is the Deus Ex Machina quality of the portals themselves. How are they actually made possible? Well, for starters, in Code Lyoko, they have the supercomputer, which not only allows them to virtualize/teleport in and out of Lyoko, the computer also helps quarantine a sinister force at the same time. It's actually hard to explain how portals work on the show without explaining the whole show.
And just explain to them that we're fighting in a virtual universe against a demonic artificial intelligence.
And the supercomputer facilitates their virtual travels. Over in Chalk Zone, obviously, Rudy's got the chalk.
I've got the chalk.
And Infinity Train has the train itself as the main conduit for the portals.
All right, hold on, let me think. I want to say it looks like this.
No, this is not Wisconsin.
No, it ain't. And this is not Kansas either. This is a portal fantasy. Or in your case, Tulip is more of a portal nightmare, but I digress. These shows give us an even spread of the different faces of the same concept, which is portal open, person goes through, is changed for life, and is promptly pooped out on the other end. But let's take a fine comb to the actual limitations of these portals, specifically with Chalk Zone, because the other shows are more technology based. And by technology based, I mean it's a giant quantum computer with infinite processing power.
Now, let's see what you've got under the hood, my friend.
Very cut and dry. Heck, Lyoko doesn't even have a ton of portals, but it's the teleportation that makes it a portal fantasy. Still, Chalk Zone portals have this unique charm about them, since they're based on this magical element that grows inside this magical cave within this magical realm, which is the magic chalk itself.
Did you say these panels were first drawn in chalk before they were carved in stone?
Yes, that's what it says.
That makes it a chalk surface. We can make a portal right here.
One of the more important episodes that demonstrates the functionality of the portals is called Secret Passageways. So we start off at Rudy's place, and him and Penny are in a panic because they gotta go on a late night hamster lick. And no, it's not how it sounds. They're just gonna break into the school after hours and yoink it, portal style. So they launch a massive exhibition in a
Chalk Zone! We'll go into Chalk Zone from here and come out through the blackboard at school. Then we'll grab the hamster, come back here and finish the experiment.
Rudy's room is connected directly to the night portion of Chalk Zone, and immediately we see him conjuring different objects to help him navigate along the way. So another major property of the chalk is that in Chalk Zone, you have the ability to create anything you could possibly imagine, as long as you could draw it. The chalk is not only an extension of his hand, but it's an extension of his mind. And he's gonna need it, because navigating Chalk Zone is like feeling your way through a pitch black room, but good thing he's got Penny by his side, because he's naturally gifted at all things cartography. Chalk Zone doesn't have fast travel, but when you're with Penny, it feels like that's what it feels.
Blah, 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 blah. That's all I'm hearing. Rudy, Pallaroonie, I know this place like the back of my remedially drawn hand.
You know, a remedially drawn hand can only point in a remedial direction.
But the school chalkboard is 200 yards this way.
By the way, Snap lives in Chalk Zone, right? So even though this is Snap's world, Penny has it more mapped out. And that's because Chalk Zone is a mirror of plain view exclusively through the medium of chalk. Anywhere there's a chalkboard, the denizens will leave their mark, and it'll appear in midair on the other side in Chalk Zone.
Yeah, it's a biology class. Look, mitosis.
If you come across what looks like a food menu, then you're probably at a restaurant IRL. If they come across the X's and O's of a playbook, they're probably in a football locker room, and they're just poking their heads through the chalkboards as they go.
Interactive chalkboard.
Cool technology.
How about you bums? Let me hear you say.
These hotspots, or checkpoints, or whatever you want to call them, are the only way he can open a portal in Chalk Zone. He can use the chalk to create objects and infinite doodle bobs, but he can't draw a portal in midair. He's got to find a real-world chalk surface for that.
Interesting. So it has to be in the real world to work.
So generally, they're going to be making portals within the boundaries of the town, but in theory, they could teleport locally through Chalk Zone to any point in the world.
You ready to listen to me now, or shall we try for a chalkboard in Siberia?
So they finally get to the school, no thanks to Snap, and they just so happen to draw on a chalkboard with wheels on it. And we also discover that the portals can be mobile on the other side so long as the chalkboard can travel. So they kick it into high gear, completely juke the teacher out of his shoes, then they grab the hamster, hop back through the portal, and try to make their way back home. Chalk Zone has its own unique set of challenges. For example, in this episode, they can't find the portal that they drew to get here because it's too dark in the night realm, so they have to start guessing and roll the dice on one of the chalkboards that looked like it might be close to home.
Bathtub Granny was one of Rudy's earliest humorous creations.
You can call spending a lifetime in a tub humorous.
Oh, I'm sorry, Granny. When I drew you, I had no idea you'd come to life.
Chalk Zone is like this astral realm that exists right on top of Plainsville, and wherever they decide to put a chalkboard and draw or doodle, once they're erased, those things are directly transcribed and 3D printed into that dimension. Really 2D printed, but you get what I mean. And if you have the magic chalk, you now have the autonomy to traverse those two dimensions seamlessly, minus the occasional whistleblower, but which I enjoy personally.
They're right there! Behind you! They climbed out of the chalkboard! Ah! They're getting away! Help! Oh, let me go!
Is this nigga serious?
Thanks for distracting the police, pal. The kids get away with a handful of hamster, and this has been the portal section. On we go. So basically, Rudy could draw a portal on any chalk surface, and abracadabra, he could crab shuffle into the other universe. Meanwhile, the Lyoko crew has to go through this laborious but kinda cool process of virtualization powered by an industrial-sized supercomputer. An absolute spa day compared to Infinity Train, where it appears Tulip is sucked directly into a trauma dump extravaganza. She gonna take a big trauma dump.
What, so you're both too busy to be my parents? I understand perfectly. Things were fine, but then you decided to change everything.
And even my pickup misses your face.
And portals aren't just a mode of transportation. They're gateways into these realms where specifically thought forms become reality, making Chalk Zone a mind escape. Infinity Train is a mind escape, and so is Lyoko. Because when you're there, all is mental.
I'm not sure if this is scientifically possible.
Maybe not in the real world, but in Chalk Zone, if I draw a freeze ray, it's a freeze ray.
Chalk Zone is what you call a simulacrum.
Mind translating that, Einstein?
It's a dreamland, and if you don't know how to draw, oh yeah, you're going outside.
Hurry, Rudy, you gotta draw something. I'm trying, Snap.
Sure, lots of characters discover the place and immediately see dollar signs, but once again, that's why Rudy, the kid, has the chalk. But the portals are what blows the lid off Pandora's box. You got bad guys coming out, bad guys going in, and ultimately, with the help of the magic chalk, Rudy's imagination is what saves Chalk Zone from countless money-hungry opportunists. In Chalk Zone, getting your hands on the magic chalk ain't the only thing keeping you from opening the portals. You also gotta be human. This makes it so that the NPCs of Chalk Zone can't get their chalky little pincers on the powers of the portal, and moreover, if they manage to escape, they can simply be punched away. Wait, no, they cannot be punched away, but they can be washed away just as easily as they were drawn, cause they're chalk.
Rudy, what's happening to me? No, Dexter, stop! Oh, I'm melting!
May the Lord have mercy on his powdery soul. And that is a motif that occurs through all of these shows. The inhabitants of the simulation don't really belong in the real world. 2D chalk people don't last long in the 3D world, but as a human in Chalk Zone, Rudy's basically a god among chalk creatures. Chalk citizens. Corginians belong in Corginia. Just like Xana belongs in Lyoko, and apart from being non-corporeal, there's many reasons why Xana could never achieve human rights.
I told you why. Because he's not infallible. Xana's knowledge of people is only approximative. That's right. No, it's not logical. No!
Xana might be one with Lyoko, but he's definitely not one with humankind. Shit, 1-1 is more one with humankind than Xana. Shout out to that guy. As a super advanced turbo AI program, Xana thinks in absolute syllogisms, but logic will only get you so far in predicting human emotions and the resulting behaviors. Xana could rummage through Aelita's memory and occupy her dreams all he wants, but at the end of the day, he's not the one dreaming. Humans dream. And those humans can enter Lyoko and manipulate the Matrix in ways that Xana can't. Ulrich has super speed and the ability to triplicate. Yumi has telekinesis. Odd has the ability to see into the future. And Aelita has the ability to manipulate energy, create objects, fly, basically do all the cool stuff. Aelita's the Neo to Jeremy's Morpheus, to Yumi's Trinity.
Be careful, Yumi. That's 20 life points you just lost.
The Matrix influence in this show is palpable, and that goes for Infinity Train too. And just like in the movies, it wouldn't be a proper Matrix setup if people weren't clamoring to escape it.
She's here at last. Welcome to Earth.
Aelita's eventual escape from Lyoko was easily the most satisfying part of the first season. She's definitely the Princess Peach of this universe.
It's great to see you again, Princess. Let's go, Princess.
Lyoko is a virtual wasteland where dreams do not come true, and Xana can't wait to jump off the porch.
We're in big trouble, Jeremy. Xana's attacking us with some kind of fish.
Apparently, Aelita was a victim, or damn near casualty, of cyber war. One day, some men in black came to pay the family home a visit, and in an effort to evade them, Aelita's dad, for some reason, stashes her so far down the Lyoko rabbit hole, she loses all memory of how life was like on the outside. Had Jeremy not stumbled across the supercomputer, Aelita would have been in Lyoko forever, because the simulation prevents her from aging. So, thanks to Franz Hopper's genius and quick thinking, his daughter's effectively dead now, and trapped inside of a simulation with a crazy, psychotic AI program. My favorite part is the magic trick where her body disappears when Franz Hopper virtualizes her. You see, normally when Jeremy does it, everybody goes into this pod and their physical body is there, but their consciousness is transported, virtualized. But no, not Aelita in this specific time. When she goes in, her body is gone too.
My father stole my life from me. He was a totally crazy second-rate magician.
You heard it here first. He's a magician, a clown, a jester commissioned by the government to commit war atrocities, which unfortunately backfires on him and his own family more than anybody else. Because upon gaining sentience, Franz Hopper's AI program is willing to commit any immoral act in order to escape Lyoko because it would be, quote, sweet.
Sissy, you're not yourself. Xana has possessed you. You must not obey him.
I've never felt so good.
Franz Hopper wanted a private server, and Xana wanted a VPN. It was never gonna work. While he specializes in trickling out of your nearest electrical outlet, Xana mostly just spams the possession thing in order to socially engineer his way out of Lyoko. He also tries summoning himself through the humans with a pentagram, which is my personal favorite Xana shenanigan. But make no mistake, Xana spends most of his time at the crib. Lyoko is his stomping ground. I admit it is absolutely desolate in some parts, but at the same time, Lyoko is teeming with Xana's minions who just so happen to f***ing live for a good spawn trap.
Aelita, no!
The difference between the simulated realities of Infinity Train and Lyoko is that Tulip has more of an abducted experience, and she's teleported semi against her own will, whereas the Lyoko warriors have the unique privilege of being uploaded voluntarily.
I like it here. It's a video game, but for real.
Just keep track of your health points, cause if you die, you can respawn, but not until Jeremy reprograms you into the sim. Also, there's no smell nor is there temperature in this realm. Very important details.
I'm trying to adapt to so many new sensations. sensations, like the air that you breathe here, all the colors and the smells.
Anyway, for Infinity Train, the simulations within each car are projected via a collage of glass orbs like the pixels on your screen. But 1-1 is the true master of this realm. If Infinity Train was a chocolate factory, you're looking at Willy Wonka.
Your friends are bad. You know that, right?
Maybe. Oh, Train does it again. Look how much he's grown.
Just like a prison, the train is composed of cells in the form of carts, and each cart is a self-contained simulation. Conversely, the outside of the train is just unoccupied space, not dissimilar to some parts of Lyoko, come to think of it. Basically like a private server where anything can happen within the confines of the train. But let me get to the real difference between these two simulations. Once again, I mentioned Lyoko is a gamified environment to emphasize the fact they don't die, whereas if you die in Infinity Train, you die in real life.
It doesn't matter. I'll be on the train forever. Numbers don't just go down, they also go up.
There's a method to the madness of Infinity Train, but a lot of it goes unexplained. Like, why does Tulip get abducted? Why does anyone get abducted? It's one of those things that are left up to interpretation. Maybe the common thread is just depressed kids, but it feels a lot deeper than that. Like trauma and sacrifice and death have something to do with the selection process as well. But once they're on the train, the same rules of engagement apply to everyone, and their progress is tracked through a karma point system, which tallies up all the bad juju you accumulate throughout your misadventures, where the key to your personal portal and eventual freedom is 0.
How about that number on your hand? Huh? Pretty cool and green.
Every passenger has one.
The numbers are made by the train based on your life. If you want to go home, get your number down to 0 and poof, away you go.
So the train responds to your actions and engenders personal growth, indicated by the number on your hand. The higher the number goes, the deeper the hole you're digging for yourself on the train.
I could travel for years on this ridiculous train and never escape. Why is this thing on my hand?
That thing on your hand is actually a really cool way to gamify becoming a better person. So the train somehow tabulates all this information and repurposes it to launch a personalized psyop against people like Tulip.
Oh, wow. So it's a good thing my number's going down? I'm growing as a person? Thanks, train. So glad an inanimate object likes me.
For me, this episode was the turning point of the season. In this one, the cat gets her paws on Tulip's memories and attempts to lock her into a vicious dopamine cycle at the request of the conductor. But in a bizarre chain of events, her score actually goes down as opposed to increasing like they planned.
This tape contains everything that makes you, you. Every passenger has one.
And just like that, her consciousness is catapulted into a remote viewing session of her own memories.
I remember that.
A carousel of sweet childhood memories flashes before her eyes. Nothing short of a sugar rush, but the inevitable crash curves the trajectory and the nostalgia trip suddenly takes a sharp right turn into the depths of Tulip's trauma and despair.
Who wants to celebrate with double onion ice cream cake? Me! This isn't right.
Tulip knew something sinister was popping off as soon as they whipped out the double onion ice cream cake. These memories are over embellished and clearly nostalgia bait. Tulip then comes to her senses and respawns to the earlier memories, but without the rose-tinted glasses, she sees them for what they are.
I told you she needed glasses, Andy.
Well, maybe you should have taken her to the optometrist, Megan.
When am I supposed to do that? Oh, yeah. They were fighting.
In reality, her parents were not doing good. Her dad was sleeping on the couch, and those dolphins are dying. And on that note, Tulip unlocks the final boss conversation, the talk. Her parents are getting divorced. She's up to her ankles in tears, and suddenly in the middle of this manic episode, Tulip has an epiphany.
No! This isn't what happened either!
It's at this moment Tulip realizes the mind 100% plays tricks on itself.
I was the one changing my memories.
She has to master the mind and resolve her trauma in order to escape this matrix.
You tried to trap me?
Can one really be trapped when we live in such happy memories?
You mean when we live in such false memories? And even if they were real memories, then she wouldn't be on Infinity Train to begin with, which she's currently trapped on. Man, get your bitch ass out of here. Self-inflicted harm is often painless and sometimes pleasurable, but when you continue to stuff skeletons in your closet, living your life as if they'll evaporate over time, you're only extending your debt with karma. And Infinity Train is damn near the karma police.
But once these two arrive at their seat, it is up to them to sort things out.
And if they don't?
Then they die here.
Oh, the many ways this applies in reality. The simulation actually doesn't create anything new as far as principles and morals, but it does prompt you to navigate the world using your own discernment. But only a specific brand of discernment gets your number down. It's the difference between taking a red or a blue pill, keeping the status quo, or opening your reality. On this train, if you're not on a speed run spamming the becoming a better person meta, you will get chewed up and spit out. But the truth is, not everyone is desperately clinging to their free will. If they could be relieved of the burden of having to make a choice, they'd leap at that opportunity.
Yeah, now I'm floating away.
But those people are called NPCs, and we all know those people never make it off the train. Or they do make it off the train, just, in a million pieces. I wish I had better news, but truly it's just become a better person with the help of the denizens or die here. Those are your options.
Mike! Where are you?
He's up there, in a million pieces.
What is this place? What are we here for?
To fight, of course.
To fight? I don't know how to fight.
But of course you do. You just forgot, but I refresh your memory.
Memories are an integral aspect of Portal fantasies because they define what the characters know about reality. But what if memories are misrepresentations of reality? Screen memories placed there deliberately to obscure the truth. Ruling out the source of your own delusion is a difficult task, and Tulip takes to it surprisingly well. I just wish I could say the same about Aelita and Lyoko. Granted, Tulip didn't have someone beaming thoughts directly into her mind, so I'll give her that one, but Aelita consistently throws herself in harm's way while trying to piece together the fragments of her lost memory.
And this super powerful virtual thing called Xana wants to destroy us. Only Aelita can deactivate the towers, and our job is to help her as much as we can.
And she's on this place called, Loco.
No, it's Lyoko.
Before she managed to escape Lyoko, Xana implanted a virus in Aelita that enabled him to lead her on remotely with these memory flashes that inspire a deja vu kind of feeling. Bonus points if the memory involves her father.
Xana is perfectly capable of stimulating your cerebral cortex. In short, you mean Xana's showing you free movies?
Movies that you have to recognize as fact or fiction. I must admit, this is a solid gambit on Xana's part. The so-called virus is actually just Hannah stealing Aelita's memories and repackaging them to her as dreams and hallucinations. Ultimately, this tethers their minds together like Voldemort and Harry Potter. If they kill Xana by destroying Lyoko, they would also kill Aelita in the process. And with Xana gatekeeping all these character-defining memories that Aelita so desperately needs, she's more gullible and susceptible to this kind of manipulation. Which leads me to an absolute banger of an episode called Distant Memories. It opens up with one of Aelita's nightmares, sponsored by Xana of course, meaning it's more of a flashback or a memory sequence. It's a traumatic moment, possibly the most traumatic moment of Aelita's life, where her mom is abducted by these men in black. At the butt end of the dream, we see a wolf with yellow eyes, and from this we know Xana is the one stirring the pot. Aelita recounts her nightmare to the gang as they leave for winter break.
What? You're still having nightmares? Oh yeah, they keep coming back every now and then, and what's more, they're always the same. But don't worry, Jeremy, I'm used to them. I don't care about Xana. I just don't like leaving you here all alone.
Everyone has a family to go home to except for Aelita, so she'll be sticking back and watching over Xana. But in actuality, Xana would be keeping an eye on Aelita, and he knew she wouldn't pass up an opportunity to meet her dad in Lyoko, especially at a lonely time like this. So just like a carrot on a stick, Xana dangles this false hope over Aelita's head, leading her directly back into his clutches. A vision, along with an MP3 recording of her father pecking away at a piano to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, immediately resonates. But this is just Xana pressing Aelita's buttons, purposefully triggering intense waves of nostalgia. And while it's exceptionally naive to think your dead father is communicating to you through a computer and wants you to come to Lyoko, it's not exactly outside of the realm of possibility, and remember, she's extremely vulnerable in this moment too.
See you in a minute, my dear.
See you in a minute.
Xana's even meticulous enough to quote her dad, but let's see if this facade actually has legs. So she touches down to Lyoko and immediately discovers what looks like a simulation within a simulation.
What's that thing? A simulation bubble?
From 2D to 3D, back to 2D, we're now transported inside the simulation bubble, projecting a memory that Xana has obtained from Aelita, And it's all too familiar for her since it's her childhood home. The stage is set and everything is in its right place, including Aelita's dad, Franz Hopper. Aelita just about tackles him and breaks into tears of joy like she's been waiting on this moment her whole life. But call it intuition or coming to her senses, either way you slice it, Aelita smells something fishy in that simulation.
When I said that everything here was the same as I remembered it, I meant it, except for one little thing.
Oh, really? What's that?
My mother. And since you're a perfectionist, you'd have recreated her here in the simulation bubble. That is, unless you weren't really my father.
Once Aelita drops this truth bomb, Xana quickly drops the act and gets right to business.
Impossible to escape. This bubble is your prison.
And right outside the bubble, Ulrich, Yumi, and I pull up on timing. As soon as they caught wind of Xana's bitch-made activities, their winter breaks did not last long.
Good to see you again. How's your vacation? Short. Good to be back, though.
Back in the simulation bubble, Xana really thought he had the upper hand, but what he failed to realize is that Aelita's really her. Okay, she uses her powers to break the simulation. The episode just gets even better from here. Everybody reunites and then a giant battle ensues. All of a sudden, Franz Hopper comes out of the digital sea in orb form. I didn't even know he could do that, and he saves Aelita. He also gets away. Xana's pissed off. Music to my ears. This episode hammers home the point that memories aren't just this solid thing. They are versions or interpretations of an event. Aelita's an emotionally charged character because she's trying to remember her fucking life. Her memories were stolen by the same dingus who gave her life, and now he's gone.
Well, what about me?
All she has to go off are the pieces of an incomplete puzzle spread across 3 different dimensions: reality, the simulation, and her dreams. In another timeline, this video was a half hour longer, but I'ma just cut to the chase. Portal Fantasies wants you to believe in your dreams, and I do too, Rudy. To booty.
Rudy to booty!
Please don't mistake this for escapism. This is more about suspension of disbelief. Dreams within dreams. Simulations within simulations. Existential questions that can never be unasked. Portal Fantasies make this all possible. The portals transport us to a hyper reality where, like simulacra, enlighten the character about the character. It's a wild form of storytelling, how they can just shortcut characters straight through plot lines that would usually take around double the amount of episodes. And still, we have 100 Kolyoko episodes. Confirmation we're in the good timeline. Please leave a comment if I missed any detail, or if you'd like to talk about the shows or any other Portal Fantasy shows on this level. I'm using the powers of my imagination to compel you to like the video. For now, this has been Adrenaline Flux, and until next time, now I'm floating away.